All right. We're going to do some speak pipes here in a minute, but first, got any Kai memories? And I say this because there was the announcement at the Pro Tour that Kai is not doing well. There's a cancer diagnosis. We don't know how much time Kai has left, so they renamed the Player of the Year trophy after him, and he was very gracious at the Pro Tour, and they naturally talked to him about him before doing all that stuff with him, and Kai acquiesced because he's awesome and got to highlight him for the weekend and highlight some aspects of his career. The video that they did with Kai, I actually found to be quite humorous in a good way because he was basically like,
it is what it is.
It's just like
that line. I was just like, still got it.
He's just like, I played in a Pro Tour. I won it. Played in the next one. Won that one too. And it's just going over his career accomplishments. And it's like, it's very matter of fact because that's how Kai just is. Mm-hmm. But it's just awesome because it's just like, well, you can't really refute him or make fun of him because it's just like, hey, kicked everyone's ass. Won 7 Pro Tours.
I guess my biggest Kai memory, I'm not the type of person to be starstruck when I see people in their professional environment.
Okay.
So, for example, I've sat courtside at an NBA game. Obviously, there's a bunch of basketball players walking around. You can hear them talk, but they're just basketball players playing basketball. Yeah. I've never really got it. It's, I guess you still, for me at least, you still feel like a spectator, even if you're that close. You don't have that kind of personal relationship.
Yeah.
The times where I've been starstruck in my life is just running into someone in a very casual environment.
Sure.
Whether or not that's expected or unexpected. I have 2 moments in my Magic career of being starstruck. One was going over to Rutgers and drafting with John Finkel.
Okay.
During Honesty Block. And the other was for one of the team Pro Tours. By this point, at 04-ish, I want to say, the New Jersey teams had a reputation for crushing Team Limited.
Yep.
Because you had Gerard Fabiano, John Sani, and Eugene, I think won the team portion or the U.S. team won the team portion at Worlds, and Eugene just tested against me, Crumples, and Horvath, like just 1-on-3 Team Rochester drafts for hours and hours. So we invited out teams to come test with us, and we had enough of a profile at that point that the Dutch team flew in, the Von Dutch that won the Seattle Pro Tour.
Yep.
They tested with us at Target.
Okay.
Phoenix Foundation came in too.
Nice. Okay.
And I remember just like I walked into the back of Target one day and it was just Kai, Marco, and Dirk playing a Team Rochester draft.
Love it.
Just in the back of this store. And me being like, I can't believe this. Like,
yeah, this doesn't seem
Kai's not only is Kai here, but like they think it's useful to be working with us.
Yep.
That I was like, there's no greater moment of both pride and humility that I've ever felt as a Magic player, as the moment of like, Kai got on a plane and came out here and he's staying in Somerville. He was always, I don't know if I would necessarily describe, I guess humble is a fine way of describing Kai. He was never performatively humble. He knew he was great.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he belongs in any conversation about the greatest player of all time. He belongs in, full stop. Doesn't really matter.
Yep.
But I never got the sense that he cared very much about where he sat in other people's rankings or would ever denigrate anyone else's accomplishments to preserve the shine of his own.
I would agree with all.
Just knew his place in the world, knew that he was exceptional, and was at peace with it. And then I caught the back end of that announcement live. I knew I had heard Kai was in poor shape maybe about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, him saying it is what it is. I was like, wow, that's just it's not even dignity so much as it is just what other response would there be? I think there's a lot of times where, it's like the Johnny Valvano speech or whatever.
Jimmy
Valvano, yeah. Which is a great speech, but he's clearly taking this moment like, I'm on death's door. How do I convey some life lessons to people in this moment? And I can appreciate that, but also part of me feels like it's not that it's disingenuous so much as it is intentional and purposeful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who don't get that opportunity or would want that opportunity. And so for Kai to say it that way, I don't know. It was very, very him. I felt very proud for him that he did not feel any urge to try to make it into a story or a lesson when sometimes there isn't a story or a lesson to be drawn from something tragic.